growing up, in the back of monster magazines, there was all these advertisements for these products, and most of them were absolute scams, but they were scams that appealed to kids who liked monster movies. Now, we don't really have that today. We all know that the modern monster magazines are more interested in articles that are intended for adults looking back at films from their childhood. So we really don't have any of those kind of worn magazines, bait ads, right? So that's sad to me. But what we do have today is dollar stores, which sell a lot of products that are remarkably similar in quality and in appeal to what was sold at the back of famous monsters of Filmland or Monsterland. At a recent visit to a Dollar Tree, I came across this. He's an alligator that supposedly grows up to 600% of his original size. Now, I'd say it's about 8.5 inches. So we're looking at something that should easily top 2.5 feet. I'm skeptical, though. I'm skeptical. I do not believe this thing is going to reach those lengths. None of those toys in the back of the monster magazines that promised to do anything, most famously X-ray specs, but really any of them did what they were promised to do. So this would be right in line if it failed. So we're going to actually try him out. We're going to see how big he gets over the next 3 days, which is about what he's going to take to get to his full size according to the instructions, limited though they are. And then he apparently shrinks back to his original size. It can be used again and again. I do believe that part of it. But if he's like the toys like this when I was a kid, he'll deform every time until he doesn't actually look like an alligator at all. He'll just kind of look like a worm with arms and maybe one big bulging eye, you know. But we'll find out. We'll find out. I don't want to prejudge him. I've named him Chuck. Into this recycling bin full of water. And then we're going to check in on Chuck over the next few days. So let's set up the camera and get Chuck submerged. Chuck just feels like rubber. Okay, so let's see if Greenbrier International produced a actual 600% of his original size alligator, or whether this is not worthy of the Louis Teague movie that I am so hoping it represents. I promise nothing so far. He's still exactly the size he was in the packaging. But it's early days. We're going to check back in on Chuck, and we're going to find out if Chuck wants to be a big alligator, or if he's stuck forever as being the size he was in his blister pack. It's about 4 hours later. There might be a little change, but I'm not seeing a lot of growth happening right now. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think he's a rubber alligator that's not going to grow. Love to be proven wrong. Okay, it is just after dusk, so we're now working about at the 7-hour point after having put Chuck in the water. And Chuck looks exactly the same as before. Looks like he's moved a little bit though. His tail was touching the side of the tank, so maybe that is a symptom of some sort of growth and it kind of pushed him, or maybe he just took a little swim. I don't really know. But I'd say in length he's exactly the same as he was earlier. So far I would say he has not grown. So far it's looking more and more like the back pages of an old monster magazine. Alright, so it's been overnight, and let's see how Chuck is doing. Well, he's curled up his tail. I can see that already. But he looks the same size. Actually, he's all curled up. He has a definite deformity to him, and he has some lumps on him. But I do not think he's gotten any larger whatsoever. It is about 7:30. It's about to start getting dark in just a little bit. I'm not coming out tonight because I actually am recording a show, the next Writers Roundtable, which probably you probably watched by now, actually. But I did want to take one last look at Chuck before I call it a day on this project. So let's take a walk over to Mr. Charles. Yeah, he's really curled up, and he's pretty much doing the Exorcist crab walk at this point. He just needs to be flipped on his other side if we wanted to get the full Reagan experience out of him. But I'm just not seeing growth. I'm seeing all these little pustule type of things growing off. Maybe that's him expanding just in those areas, and maybe he, I don't know, maybe it happens not all at once. He doesn't just grow in size like I was imagining. Maybe it happens in, bits and starts. Anyway, that's where he's at. I will check in with you guys tomorrow morning. Probably pretty early because I have some things I need to go do tomorrow. That is the last day we'll track Chuck, and we'll see how big he gets by tomorrow. 600%? Not looking good, because we are now, oh God, I guess we're about 30 hours into this experiment. But we'll see. Morning. Let's check on Chuck. The exact same size. He's a little more curled up now. That's about all I can see. So his feet are all facing straight up. See that? The pads of his feet are skybound. And his snout is kind of curled up too. But as far as I can see, exact same size. Alright, so it's night. I was out a little bit later than I expected today. So I guess we're going to check on Chuck, and then I'm going to go get some sleep because it's been a really, really long day. What? I don't know. Did someone, maybe it dissolved in the water? I don't know. Could it be that cheap? What's that sound? Someone out here? There's a